What is the Mass? The Mass is awesome. So I would say three words. We'll expand. The Mass is worship, sacrifice, and presence. First, we must worship God. That is what a creature should do to the Creator. And it's not like just groveling on the ground and God, crushes us. But God deserves all praise, thanksgiving, our love, our worship. He made us. We wouldn't exist without God. What do you think we do in heaven? We worship God. And really, when we do it right and when we're in the right state, it gives us the greatest joy, because it's where we would love God. Our earthly forms just fall short, but we are obliged to worship God. So the Mass is the perfect worship of God. We could get together at Mass or a Sunday service and do a lot of ways of worshiping, but actually there's just no better way than the way we do it as Catholics. Why do we do the same thing every Sunday? Because the Mass is Jesus's worship of God the Father. Jesus is fully human, and now he's fully God as well. But we need a human to perfectly worship God. We've never managed it for some reason because we're sinners. But Jesus did. He gave everything to the Father. He's fully human. He does it for us. He offers himself on the cross in perfect trust, perfect love. And, in the Old Testament, they'd make sacrifices of animals and things. He offers himself everything, doesn't hold back. We complain, I gotta spend an hour on Sunday morning, I want to sleep in, play video games, whatever. I want to do that too. But Jesus gave everything. That's worship. So what if we could piggyback on the worship of Jesus, enter into it, like make it our own? Well, that's what the Mass does. We enter into it, everything Jesus did, especially his death, resurrection, on the cross through Easter. It's all in the Mass. So Mass is worship. Along with it, we have our songs and our readings and all our prayers and all that. But the main thing, it's really the worship of Jesus to the Father, and we just essentially piggyback on it. So first, the Mass is worship. Second is sacrifice, and I've already kind of alluded into that. Jesus is the sacrifice. Once for all, he atones, makes up for all the sin of the world. He offers his body, every drop of blood, everything he has in sacrifice to the Father for us. And we need that sacrifice. And that is a moment in history. He did that. Every other moment in history passes away. But not this moment. This is the God-man changing the world, a new creation. He rises from the dead. This is like a wormhole, to use a scientific thing. Such gravity that it warps time and space. So what Jesus does is not like every other moment of history. It is history. And it's once for all, but it's present for all. And how do we make that sacrifice present? Well, Jesus gave us the way, the Mass, because he said at this Last Supper, do this in memory of me. And whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the death of the Lord until he comes. St. Paul said, the bread that we break, the cup that we bless, is it not a participation in the body of Christ, the blood of Christ? So the sacrifice of Jesus is made present. We participate in it every Sunday. And what's cool about that is we add our own little sacrifices. They're tiny little bitty things, but we can actually offer something to God because of Jesus. Because we kind of piggyback on him And hey, our hour is a sacrifice, but we should offer a lot more than that every Mass. So we have worship, sacrifice, and then presence. Jesus said at the end of the Gospel of Matthew, I love this line, behold, I'm with you always until the end of the age. How is he with us? Well, he is with us, always spiritually, but especially in the Mass, because at his Last Supper, he said, this is my body and this is my blood. Take, eat. John chapter 6 said, if you eat my body, you drink my blood, you'll have life within you. You'll never die. My flesh is true food, my blood, true drink. He's telling us over and over that this is his body, this is his blood. So the Mass, it makes that all present to us today. It's the power of Jesus's words. They're still powerful. When God says something, let there be light, there is light. When Jesus said, this is my body, it is his body. That's what God does. He says it, it's now true. And when the priest operates as a priest in persona Christi, in the person of Christ, and he speaks the words of Christ, it's Christ speaking those words. This is my body. This is my blood. It becomes him. So Jesus is made present fully, really, substantially. His body, blood, his soul, his human soul, his divinity. He's totally present to us in the Mass in the most powerful way present of all. So that's why we want to be there. Jesus is there. Are we there? His sacrifice of the cross, his resurrection, it's there. Do we want to show up to that? And it's the perfect worship of God. Yeah, I can pray out in nature on a mountain, but that's a puny, piddly worship compared to the perfect worship of Jesus. That's the Mass. That's why we love it. It's why as Catholics we do it every Sunday, actually every day, and why we need to be there. Peace.